So this New Year's was definitely a unique one because I hosted a sober New Year's Eve party for the first time with my friend Ellie over at my friend Leslie's house. Now, this whole thing came about because I did a little workshop in another ecstatic dance where I taught people breath work for the first time. And then one of my friends, Ellie, came up and she was like, "Hey, we should co host an event coming up." And I was like, "Hey, why not New Year's?" And New Year's came up for me because it's one of the most difficult holidays to stay sober. I would say Halloween and New Year's are the two holidays, at least for me, where I feel the most pressure to go out and drink and go downtown. And so I was like, how about we create a sober New Year's Eve party? And then wouldn't it be cool to for everybody to wear white, have these like crazy awesome glow sticks, and just have then bring on the new year with intention instead of bottle service and popping champagne. So we kind of had the idea, right? The idea was there, and then we just started working on it, started to figure out, okay, what should we do? How can I help? How can she help? And I honestly could have never done it without Ellie. She's one of these people that just like hosts events all the time. So like she knows how to do everything. I just kind of came up with a lot of the creativity, what we should wear, what theme it should be. Just kind of like the more marketable, fun things is something that I come up with. So just fast forward to, the day before, actually yesterday. I cannot believe it was yesterday. Ellie gets there like 2 hours before to set everything up, and we're all scrambling. We're like getting everything ready, getting like the altar ready, which I didn't even know was going to exist, and then two different fires where we had the whole entire experience. First, we started at one fire, then we moved it to the other. Um, it was just I didn't realize how much firewood we would need. Like the supplies was like literally 5 cars full of stuff. I didn't really realize it was gonna be that much. So then we go to start getting ready, and everybody started kind of volunteering, helping out. We had one of our great friends, Patrick, at the door, greeting everybody. So like everybody kind of went into place, and it was like a full, well-oiled machine. It wasn't just one person or two people. It was like a whole sea of people. And somebody brought some like vegan ceviche, which was like off the chain. I mean, like 5 pounds of vegan ceviche. I've never seen so much ceviche in my life. And then once we kind of get things going, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a sober event, but if you've ever been to like kind of like an ecstatic dance or like some sort of event in the conscious community, they have a lot of like intentionality, which is like when we before we drink something, we like speak words into it, we speak intention into it before we drink it, things like that. So we kind of first started off with like the astrology, like what everything was, like how everything was aligned. Then we went through, Ellie did a meditation, and then I did a workshop for goal setting, kind of like 3 big tips on how to like really keep your New Year's resolutions. Then we did this cool candlelit ceremony, which is actually a lot cooler than I thought. We started off from one point and we went all the way around where one person lit the other person's candle, and all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, which was cool. Then we went to the cacao ceremony, which if you don't know what cacao is, it's basically a like 100% chocolate, right? No sugar, no additives. Sometimes you can add like some cinnamon or some like turmeric or some cayenne pepper, or some almond milk, to just kind of play with the taste a little bit. And it tastes like the best chocolate milk you've ever had. And then on top of that, it gives you like this huge upper where like you have all your vessels of your body like all dilated, like you're super euphoric, and you can dance all night. And I honestly was going to do like a little warm up for everybody for the ecstatic dance, and like so everybody could feel comfortable, but everybody went straight into dancing. It was just like hardcore, bam, like ready to go. Like everybody was already ready. And granted, everybody's wearing all white. I honestly couldn't believe there were so many people all dressed up the same. When you go to like a Halloween party, there's like 10 people who like just don't dress up, and you're like, bro, come on, like you could or wear a shirt that says this is my costume. It's like, come on, you how long have you had to prepare for this? Like you should have done better. Every single person in this party was wearing all white. And what really touched my heart was when somebody came up to me and they were like, "Oh, I just want to let you know, like this is the first New Year's that I've ever had sober." Like I just want to share that with you. So we took a selfie. It was awesome. Then I talked to this other woman who said, oh my gosh, I downloaded both the apps that you were talking about. I'm going to get my butt in the gym. I'm super excited to share this with my friends. And I was like, yes. So like those are the kind of things I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It's already worth it. So the food was great. The venue was incredible. It was like probably it's 1 acre of land and under this like 300-year-old beautiful oak tree. So it was really, really beautiful. And then towards the I mean, the DJs came on and they were just not it was crazy. The DJs literally brought a whole vibe. Like there was the backdrop was this like crazy, trippy, like neon colors. Like the whole entire house was lit up. It went from like a normal, like 3 bedroom, 3 bath house to like a rave in like what 2 hours. Crazy, right? So we ended up pulling everything together. And then towards the end, we had a this ceremony where it's kind of like a traditional ceremony from Spain. A lot of Hispanic cultures have integrated it into their New Year's parties, and what it is basically you have like we filled a cup full of 12 grapes, and for every chime or ding of like like the old school bells that go for 12, it would have 12 chimes, but dong dong dong, like you're supposed to eat one grape for each dong, which sounds very different. But so you have one wish for each dong of the or chime of the clock. And we did that right at 12 o'clock. Instead of like having that pressure of like, oh my gosh, who's gonna be my New Year's kiss? Or having that pressure of like, oh my gosh, I need to pop bottles. Like it was everybody doing the 12 wishes that they want to bring into their new year together with the grapes. And we had like so many grapes. I've never seen so many grapes in my life. We were like picking them like this and dipping them out. It was really, really cool. And then of course after that we had um, a limbo, which is in the video that I just posted lately. I like honestly, I always bring my selfie stick to anywhere I go because it is like a party. If you put that thing out, you have a limbo wherever you want to go, and I just love that experience. And we were able to do like a glow stick limbo. Everybody went through it. Even this one lady who was 75 and she was still shaking it. And then our friend Ricardo was backing up on this lady who was 75. It was so funny. It was really, really funny. Then towards the end, we had a sound healing, like around 2 a.m. Which, if you don't know what sound healing is, it's at least in this case, it was about 6 different crystal bowls, and the way you play the crystal bowls, you basically ding it once, and then you go around, almost like if you have like those crystal um, cups or not cups, vases or glasses, and you can rub your finger around and it vibrates. Same thing happens with these singing bowls. And this was a unique experience where there was two people. There was Leslie and Ellie like dueling singing bowls. And so you could hear one side and the other side. It almost felt like I was like in the ocean and I could hear like the whales go, you know how Dory says, Dory can speak whale, kind of like that. But yeah, so then after that sound healing, I did a kava ceremony, and we had medicine music, which a lot of the medicine music is in Spanish, because a lot of the like ayahuasca ceremonies are in Spanish speaking countries. So I would assume that a lot of medicine music is tied in with ayahuasca ceremonies. So it was just a really beautiful moment to be around the fire, singing songs, drinking kava, having like really like traditional roots, songs, music, and even kava that like connects us back to our roots instead of just like getting slammed off of champagne, right? It just was more of like a primal, um, loving space than like let's get hammered, spend thousands of dollars on bottle service, and have a hangover for 2 days. Like I can't believe it's even the same day, and I didn't drink anything, so I didn't feel hungover at all. I went to bed at 4:30, maybe even 5. So it was a very long experience, but it was really, really beautiful. So if going and being sober for New Year's or Halloween is something you want to do, I would highly recommend just in your area, just type in on Facebook, just type in like ecstatic dance wherever you live, or e-dance wherever you live, or Austin, wherever you live, conscious community. If you type in those things, like some people go to AA really helps them, right? if you need that. But some people like don't really are not looking for that type of environment, right? The conscious community is very similar to the AA in that like most people don't drink. Some people might partake in like mushrooms or in rape or in cannabis, maybe even acid. I would say acid's more rare, but they rarely get drink, and if they and on top of that, they rarely get drunk. It's just what I found across the board on literally like tons of different countries that I've been to. The conscious community, the whole theme of that is like I feel like getting drunk and binge drinking is kind of unconscious because it could literally make you unconscious. So like physically, like knockout or blackout, which is that's cool maybe in college and high school, but like when you're in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like blacking out, in my opinion, is not very cool anymore. Like that's you should probably cut that down, um, respectively. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, if you're looking to have try to find like a sober event near you, yeah, just type in those two different things, and you never know what you're gonna find. And honestly, Ellie and I created this because we kind of felt the same way. Where we're like, New Year's has a lot of pressure to drink, and let's just create a sober vibe that everybody can really love. And we freaking nailed it. I don't know how. In the 2 hours that we had to set everything up to go from like a normal, typical house to like a sober rave, but we did it. And I couldn't have done it without every single person that helped us out. It wouldn't have been a success if, it was probably about 60 people that showed up. Like it was just incredible. Everything just worked out. And sometimes it doesn't. And I was honestly was skeptical when I only had 2 hours to set up, but we really did it. And we had tons of volunteers to help us out. Leslie and Brad, the hosts, were just such great hosts, and they were so chill and so relaxed. So would I do it again? Absolutely. I don't know if I'll be in Orlando next year for New Year's, but I definitely would love to host another sober party because like and it's so funny. People have like this mentality where it's like, oh, if you're sober, you're boring. Let me tell you what. If you look at my story right now, look at everybody. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's going wild. Everybody's having a great time because you do not need alcohol to have fun. That is absolute bullshit. It might be an excuse you're telling yourself, like, oh, I need a drink in order to feel fun. No, if after you stop drinking and you do stuff that you normally would do drinking, like going sing karaoke, like going and dancing, like doing a limbo, whatever it is, getting on stage. Once you do it again and again and again and again, like in the beginning, it might feel a little awkward, but after you keep doing it, you develop the courage to be like, holy shit, like I really don't need alcohol. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's have a good time. And I honestly thought that I would have to warm these people up, these beautiful souls, up to dance. But they went straight in the dance floor and they danced right away. And that's one huge obstacle that many people face. Sobers are like, I don't think I can dance sober. And that was literally my thing. I was literally the guy in high school and college that had the booze. I was the supplier of the pregame. I would mix vodka with Crystal Light with C4, pre-workout, and Rage. I would beer bong. I would keg stand. I would gargoyle. I did all the things, and I don't need to let go of that energy that I had. Like I was able to create such a fun environment. I can just transfer that into all right. Let's drink some cacao. Let's drink a green drink. Let's drink some kava at the end of the ceremony so that we can chill out. So there are still mind altering substances that do not include alcohol, that are not something you're going to get addicted to and potentially risk your life and the people around you's life and your family, right? So and it just takes a little bit of research, it takes a little bit of just going out of your comfort zone and meeting new people that are in the same realm that you're in. And if you're in one of those spaces where you're like kind of tired of the people you have around you, like people are inviting you out to like I actually had talked to one girl who said that her friends invited her out to go downtown. And she thought like that was like the only option. She's like, I don't want to drink. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to be around drunk people. So she thought she only that was her only option. That's what her friends were doing. But then she saw our event and she was like, "Oh my gosh, like I want to do that. I don't care if I have to go alone. I will meet people because I would rather have not know many people and be sober in a sober environment than go out with my friends and feel pressure to drink. So if this is you, definitely look up conscious communities are in your area. Type in e-dance, drum circles, silent discos, whatever. Go to yoga class. And I'm just telling you these things because if you go to those locations, if you go to ice baths, stuff like that, you will meet people who are like into the health conscious community. And once you meet them, it's just you'll start meeting a whole bunch of people, and your whole entire friend circle could completely change. And I'm not saying you need to get rid of all of your friends. I'm just saying like you could blossom up your diversity of the friends that you have. And as you transition from being, somebody who feels like they need to go out and drink to have fun, you could transition to being more intentional with your night and having deep, long conversations and dancing your ass off without having to drink. And that is a absolute skill. That is a learned skill. It's not something you just like, boom, given to you. It's like it's given to you when you're like 11 years old, or you don't know, like you're too young. You just have that like childlike energy where you're like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And then something happens, like when you're in middle school, where you're like, oh shit, like people are making fun of me, or oh shit, like I'm weird. Oh shit, I don't want to be weird. I want to be like everybody else. I want to fit in, like whatever it is that we have, like when we transition, then everything sets in where it's like, oh, I don't know if I could dance because I want people to make fun of me. Like there's this fear of being an outcast, right? Being outcasted from our tribe, which is very primal. But in this case, in this sober case, it's like, no, bring everybody together, no matter what shape, size you are, no matter what you do, no matter how you shake your body, you are welcome here. And it is a safe place. Nobody's going to hit on you like in a very gross way. There's no grinding. There's no bullshit. There's no bad words in the freaking, even in the, or even bad intention in the music. It's all beautiful. It's all a beautiful environment that we create and we co-create as a collective. And you can feel it, and it is dynamic. So if you've never tried it before, give it a try. Hope you guys have the best new year of your entire life. I hope your 2025, you just absolutely smash it. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, I would love to go to a sober event and don't know where to start, shoot me a DM down below. I would be glad to reach out to you. Much love.